A weekly check-in is a safe space and a dedicated time that me and Babe, and hopefully you and your partners or you and your friends or whatever, can sit down and just one-on-one lock in and discuss basically your week.
They've been doing their thing, putting haters to shame, and they both got that master plan. It ain't nothing you can do to stop their thing. The Styles family, the Styles family, Styles family. Oh yeah.
What's going on, Star Squad? It's your favorite boy, Big Remo.
Your favorite? Why are
Yeah.
you their favorite?
I don't know, I just said. And I'm here with the very talented, beautiful Dr. No Star's favorite.
I'm not their favorite girl. Wow.
My favorite girl.
Oh, my not theirs.
Nah.
I'm everybody's favorite girl. Repping the real HU today.
I'm repping the streets.
This is where Babe went to school,
Yeah.
and this is where Noah went to school. Comment down below if you went to HBCU. What happened?
Alright?
I don't know what that is, but
I don't know what that is either.
okay. We are the
STYLES Familia. And again, we're back with an amazing video for you guys.
Indeed.
Mhm.
Let them know, babe.
And today we'll be talking about our weekly check-ins. Again, this is a weekly thing we do. Me and Babe sit down. It's a dedicated time where we talk about any and everything, and it's a safe space. So we want to share that with you guys.
Yes. So we're gonna talk about what it is, right? Obviously, it's weekly, so that is how often.
Right.
We're gonna talk about the components of the things that we generally speak about. Babe said it's everything and anything. Kind of, but like there are specific components like that we absolutely include. And then we're gonna talk about the benefits of the weekly check-in.
Absolutely.
All right, babe, so you wanna start them off and let them know what is a weekly check-in?
A weekly check-in is a safe space and a dedicated time that me and Babe, and hopefully you and your partners or you and your friends or whatever, can sit down and just one-on-one lock in and discuss basically your week. The good, the bad, as individuals, as well as what happened when that came down together in that space that you guys share, or whatever the case may be, as well as anything that you want to bring up to the table. This is now a safe space to discuss that, and in doing this is to get that thing off your chest. It's also a little therapeutic, I feel, and let your partner know what's going on instead of like holding on to things, good or bad.
Right.
Maybe we're gonna add to that. I don't know if I missed
Yeah,
that.
no, absolutely. It's a time for open communication between you and your partner, really around the lines of open communication and an opportunity, like Babe said, to have a safe space to have that open communication. And if you follow us on IG, if you don't follow us, the Styles Familia, we have been in our weekly lives talking about different things, and two of the main topics that we have been speaking about are, the first one was self-reflection,
Right.
and the second was communication. And both of those things are so in alignment when you're in a relationship. And so with the weekly check-ins, when you have that like self-reflection, ongoing self-reflection, you're giving yourself an opportunity to think about what are some things that are going well for you in your relationship, what are some things maybe not going so well, right? And then the weekly check-in gives you an opportunity to express those things.
Yes.
Right? All right, so let's get into chatting about the things, the components that involved in our weekly check-in.
Right. You want to start with all?
I'll start it off. Okay. So the first thing, we love positivity, right? And positivity is something that just makes your lives, relationship, your aura, everything so much better. So we always start on a positive note. Mm-hmm. And so with that, we let each other know what the other partner has been doing well in the relationship, in life, in anything, in any aspect around the house, but it's like paying the compliments to your partner. Oh, babe, I love the way that when I didn't do the dishes this week, you just like picked up and did the dishes without me having to ask, right? Paying attention to those little things and then paying forward a compliment to your partner. So anything positive that you have noticed within your partner, and you can just like highlight them and uplift them.
Definitely.
Right, babe? For that first component. Second component?
The second component you want to touch on will just be the yang to the yin, and you want to kind of discuss some negative things. And negative doesn't have to be like oh, you didn't do this or you didn't do that. It could just be something that even you yourself felt like bad about, you know? So, yeah, like just you want to bring that negative to light, and you want to highlight it in a positive way that you see it and you're aware of it, and then you can talk to your partner about how to be better or get better with that particular situation.
You want to give them an example?
Yeah, I can give an example. I would say for me, maybe this is probably maybe you didn't notice it, but I wasn't able to like walk the dogs at a certain time, and like I kind of just felt bad about that like all week. I was like, damn, so they're gonna be in the house or the whole time being walked, and I kind of had to ask Babe to walk them, and it was kind of real late, so I felt really bad about that. But I think in going forward, I would just incorporate more walks earlier on in the day, so that if I'm not able to be there at a certain time, the dogs will be okay. So that's one thing that I felt kind of bad about.
Yeah, and even Babe, he leaned into like the first part of the not so positive or negative aspects of it is your perception of something that didn't go so well. So that example that he gave was just like saying like for him what didn't go so well, right? For the first part, stating and accepting his maybe not strongest point for that week and expressing that to me, the partner. But then on the opposite side of the negative is from my perspective of around him and what I noticed, that maybe he fell short a little bit, or was something like around a need that I needed a little bit more for the week, and expressing it to him like, hey babe, I know that I expressed to you that I just needed 15 more minutes of one-on-one time with you for this week, but you didn't give me that time. So like that negative expression, letting him know like you didn't stand up to that agreement. So the first part is just like that self perspective of negative, and then the second part is like letting your partner from your perspective, letting them know what didn't go so well, right?
That's very good.
Also, the Babe kind of touched on two parts. So the next component is when you're expressing, especially in your relationship, when something isn't going well, we believe that the follow-up to that is a suggestion or a conversation, a suggestion and a conversation around how it could be better. Like you can't just tell your partner that something's not going well and just leave it at that. Like how can we make it better? That's the open communication and like increasing us to be at a better place. So if I'm telling Babe, oh, you didn't give me that extra 15 minutes. Okay, let's talk about it. How could we, for the next week, make it better so that turns into a positive and not a negative, right? And
I will say too, there is room, and there should be room here for compromise. So let's use that example with the 15 minutes real quick. If that was like the case, then I would suggest to her like, because schedules change, schedules fluctuate. Like, and I'm gonna use my personal example right now. I was able to schedule something out to where I have like 6 completely free days. Like when I'm doing like absolutely nothing. Like I have 6 completely free days coming up. So I would tell her like, hey, I may have missed out on 15 minutes. I'm super sorry. Like, you know what I'm saying? Work was busy, whatever. But I now have 15 million minutes to spend with you.
15 minutes.
So let's go, you know what I mean? Like,
right, and that allows for now.
And better yet, let's go somewhere. Let's go out to dinner, let's do that. So now you could have a you have a compromise, but the compromise kind of outweighs the negative. You don't want to forget the negative because you still want to pay attention to why that happened and you want to address that. But you also have a plan of action to kind of come even harder. Where like, all right, you want 15 minutes? I'm gonna give you 15,000 million minutes. You know, so you wanna have that kind of approach to it, and like without ruining your integrity, what you got going on, just come with a proactive plan.
Right, and I think that it could be something that doesn't have to happen in the next week, but you've spoken about it, right?
Exactly,
so Babe's example, right, it wasn't gonna happen in the next week, but it will happen in the near future.
Right.
Where I remember one time we checked in, Babe was like, babe, I just need 1 hour, 1 hour to myself. But for whatever reason, I'm like, can we do this? Can we do that? Can we record? Can we do this? And he's like, can you just give me 1 hour to myself? And I was like, oh, 1 hour every day? Sure.
No,
and he was like, not every day, every week. And I'm like, babe, every week? What? You can have an hour every single day to yourself. Like, I don't care. You can have more than that if you need it. So in that case, it was more immediate.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be immediate. It can be immediate if it's something that can be done immediately, or it can be something that happens later on, right? So
but as long as you address it should be fine.
Yeah, right. So the first component is like the positivity. The next component is the not so positive. I don't know why like I have such a thing with the word negative. Negative, and then the next component is a goal. We give each other a goal for the next week, right? And so I give Babe something to work on, and it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be like directly for something for him to do.
Right.
It could be something aligned to both of us, but we give each other a goal, and then during the next check-in, we follow up with that goal and give each other praise. So if I give him an example for Babe, I tell him, what was the goal? One goal I gave you. I'm trying to think of a good one.
A good one.
Oh, I remember one. When I let him know, and this is twofold. The goal is twofold. Babe, when you're feeling tired or like not up to doing something, please be 100% honest with me and let me know, because he'll just, Babe, are you tired? I'm good. And so I never know if he's really good or if he's tired. So I just let him know, like, babe, please just let me know if you're really tired, and we don't have to talk or we don't have to do whatever it is at hand at that moment. And you can just let me know. And so that was one goal I had told Babe to work on, and we did it, and then we checked it the next week. So the last component it's kind of like component C1 and C2 is giving your partner the goal, but also check in with that goal next week, where I'm just like in the next week, like, oh babe, like the goal from last week, you did really well in it, you know, like we can continue it, or like you're good, like it's now a part of your active routine.
Yes.
By having that goal and following up, right?
Yeah, it's big.
Yeah. And so let's get into the benefits of the weekly check-in. What are some benefits that you feel we've experienced from doing this weekly check-in?
So I read somewhere, and I'm doing a lot of studies on love and relationships and just like psychology.
Oh, I'm rubbing off on him.
Nah, but in all seriousness, the studies that I've found, and just even talking to people who are older than me and wiser than me, in regards to like love and all that stuff, is that love isn't enough. And then you can take that for whatever it is. I'm not saying that I actually believe that, but in these studies, like, love is a feeling, and we're getting to a whole other level now, but what I'll just say is you need things like this to help your relationship, like, to water it, you know, because if love is the seed, you need to water it with other things besides just love. You know what I'm saying? Like, it needs more than that. So I do think that this is a healthy exercise. It's a healthy way of communicating. It's a healthy way of setting goals. It's a healthy way of setting dreams. And in doing this every week, it could be sooner or even every month, it just helps with that love, you know, like, because again, that love should always be there, but this thing we're doing right now is going to help with that, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And transcend love, you know, because again, love is only a feeling. It's a song too, I think.
I think so.
Love is only a feeling.
I never heard that song. Additionally,
Sign me.
I think communication is a pillar in a relationship.
Right.
And ongoing communication is essential. And this weekly check-in, babe said you can do it monthly if you can, if you need to.
Yeah.
I really
like
think it's essential to do it weekly.
Yeah, for sure.
This is like a concrete time, right? And so communication is essential in a relationship, right? And so that is one of the benefits. It gives us another opportunity to speak about things that are happening in our relationship. It also gives an opportunity for praise, right? For praising your partner. How often, think right now, how often do I tell my partner they were doing a good job in something in the relationship, right? Or something in the house? How often? Probably not often. People don't do that.
It's not often enough, and I feel like the compliments that people do receive, man and women, are just surface level and strictly physical. Like, oh, babe, you look nice today. Like, a million guys on IG told your girl you look nice today, bro. Like, you gotta come harder than that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, and even for us, at first, I feel like our compliments and positive notions towards each other were okay, and I feel like over time they got so much better and so much deeper. Imagine how a dad would feel if his partner said, you did a dope job with diapers this week. You know what I'm saying? Nobody gives a positive notion or comment like that. Imagine, I'm not anything close to a dad, but I can imagine a dad would feel amazing
that was so good,
at hearing something
and that would also encourage him. He's like, oh, that was nice. About to be
flipping diapers backwards.
Let's go. Let's go. Legs up. You know what I'm saying? Wipe. Yeah, let's go. Let's get it.
So it gives another opportunity for you to communicate that praise and give your partner just love in another way. Right.
And I think too, the way you said, and I said earlier, it can be monthly, but I think weekly is a good place to start because things happen so frequently in our lives that a month might be too much time. You might even forget certain things that were on your mind, and but when it comes down to it, the discussion can be kind of a buildup of all these feelings that could come off as super aggressive, you know? A lot could happen in a month, you know? And that could really be a lot to put on somebody's plate if you're not doing these conversations frequently before that, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel like what happens in relationships, because time just goes by, schedules get crazy, you're experiencing something in your relationship that's really bothering you, and it's just held off, you know? And this gives an opportunity for you to express that thing that is going well, but if it's something that's not going so well, to express it, handle it, move on, you know, instead of letting things fester. And the last benefit is the goals. How many times have you heard that partners in a relationship give each other goals? I've never heard that. I feel like that's something that we made up in our weekly check-in.
Hashtag relationship goals.
I mean, that's a hashtag. People think about, oh, what's my goals for my year, for my vision board, for my business. I never hear what are the goals that I can work on with my partner or that I can provide to my partner to help
but this goes back to the human nature of things, right? Humans are innately selfish creatures by design. You want for you, but in a relationship, and that's why I say love isn't only enough. In a relationship, you still have to be your individual person. You still have to have those goals for yourself, but you also have to have goals and dreams and everything, aspirations for us.
Right.
So don't only focus on the you goals. You gotta focus on the us goals as well. And that's why I feel a lot of things go awry in relationships, which is why these check-ins and having those goals for us are definitely dope.
Right? Did we mention that on the goal part? Did we say the individual and goals together?
We probably didn't.
We might have left that out.
Yeah.
So that's another part for the goal part. Goals together as well as individual goals for each other. And so those are the benefits. Anything else?
I think it makes you happier, man. I think genuinely, like you just come back with the knowledge. You know what your partner's thinking, and as you should. But sometimes, again, you don't know what your partner's thinking 100% of the time. So it's like a good safe space to get that off, and it's an open platform. You know, it's like you should be talking to your best friend. You know, so when you're discussing these things, it should be just open and clear communication. It should be transparent. It should be, hey, I ain't like this or I ain't like that. It should be a safe space to discuss any and everything, and I think it will make you a lot happier as a couple and as individuals.
Yeah, I agree. So many benefits, like we said, and one of the biggest ones is just contributing to the realm of happiness within your relationship and growth within your relationship. And we had discussed this prior to talking about our weekly check-in. Is just like any negatives around weekly check-in, and we have felt like there hasn't been any negatives. I will say, I don't know if this is a disclaimer or just like a warning or just like it's something to put out in the air. You have to be, and I believe we said this in talking about communication or sex communication and in the live. You have to be open to receiving the feedback, because your partner can tell you something like straight up and straightforward that you may not have been ready for, right? And you have to be open to receive it and not be like angry or salty. You can't take it into the week and like now that your entire week is messed up because you didn't like what your partner said. Your partner is being open and honest and with you and letting you know what has been working well and what has not been working well, and you just should take that as feedback to make yourself as an individual better, your relationship better, your union better, right? So I don't know if like that was a disclaimer, a warning, or anything like that.
That's actually a good disclaimer, yeah, because I feel. I mean, shouldn't it be a partner's intent to hurt the other individual in the relationship, right? But I feel as though some things that may be said can be hurtful. But again, we're all adults at the end of the day, we're all mature, and I feel as though individuals can present information in a certain way that's not hurtful. And you also, again, you have to be open to taking that in. You have to be a mature person, you know. And if you want this to work, you have to listen at least. At the very least, you have to listen.
Right. And if you and your partner continue to be open with you and communicate with you, that you can't react in a negative way and not be able to take it.
Because that person is not going to be openly honest and truthful. It's going to be a lot of lies and deception, and that's not what you want.
And the communication is going to be like shut down.
Exactly. So you see how all this kind of like has to work. It has to be like a full circle moment. In every regard for these things to absolutely work. Like, it has to be that way.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for hanging with us, talking about weekly check-ins. Although it's weekly, it's not like we don't check in every day. This is just like a formal, non-negotiable time. We have a lot of non-negotiables because life gets crazy, right? We have weekly non-negotiable date nights, non-negotiable check-ins, schedule a time for it. But we do check in every day, babe. How are you feeling? How's your day going? Everything. All day I'm like, you okay? He does the same for me. We have those daily check-ins. This just is a time for it to go way deeper. Right? Way deeper.
I do want to end on two things. Make time for that person you love. And there was a quote, I can't quote it, I don't remember it. Smart girl.
I don't know the quote.
No, you know the quote.
I do?
It was where the old person said, make time for
fun.
Exactly.
So they said make time for fun.
Your life
and babe, we said the other day, make time for sex.
Yeah.
And now you're saying make time for love.
For love. For
love. Hey,
that might be like, it have to be like our mantra, man. Like make time for, and we'll just have different things because I really do believe that, man. Like
I love that, baby.
Yeah, like that's.
That's why I love him.
No,
the video's getting mad long.
All right, guys. It's your boy, Big Green.
End on your thing.
Okay. So
Make time for love. You said you wanted to end on 2 things.
No, that was it. Like I want you to say that quote. Like, make time for love, because again, like you said, like me and Babe said, like life is gonna have situations thrown at you, work, kids, etc., etc., etc. You want to protect this. Like you gotta look at it like this. This is like work is cool. Obviously you need money, right? So you need that. But like this is what matters in life, man. Like I'm telling you. I've done studies, I've done research. This is what matters. You as an individual, her as an individual, or whoever you're with as an individual, and then that's what really matters, man. Trust me.
Absolutely. Let us know in the comments if you want us to record one of our weekly check-ins so you can just see how the flow of it.
Absolutely.
And see all those components. Let us know right now in the comments.
Right.
Thank you so much again for hanging out with us today. If you like this video, don't forget to
like
and
comment.
And if you want to see more videos,
subscribe.
But if you want to know when we drop the videos, don't forget to
hit the notification bell.
Yes, and we will see you in the next video. Peace.